Stand in front of a mirror, look closely at your face, right below your mouth. There's a small piece of bone that almost every human on Earth shares, your chin. It seems so ordinary that most of us never question it. But here's something astonishing. Not a single chimpanzee has one. No gorilla, no orangutan, no wolf, no lion. Not even our closest extinct relatives like the Neanderthals had a true human chin. Out of every animal that has ever lived, only modern humans possess this unique feature. Why? Did it help our ancestors survive? Was it designed to make our jaws stronger? Did it evolve because we learned to speak? Or is it simply one of evolution's greatest accidents? Scientists have debated this question for more than a century, and surprisingly, no one has a definitive answer. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating mystery behind one of the most overlooked parts of the human body, the human chin. If you compare your face with almost any other animal, one difference immediately stands out. Most mammals have jaws that slope backward. Humans don't. Instead, our lower jaw extends slightly forward, creating a distinct chin. Scientists call this feature the mental eminence. It's so unique that anthropologists often use it to identify modern human fossils. If a fossil has a true chin, there's a good chance it belonged to Homo sapiens. Even Neanderthals, our closest extinct relatives, lacked this feature. Their faces were larger, their jaws were stronger, but their lower jaws sloped backward rather than projecting outward. That raises an extraordinary question. If powerful jaws helped our ancestors survive, why did modern humans evolve something completely different? The answer may lie in millions of years of changing diets, new technologies, and perhaps even the rise of language itself. But before we explore those theories, we first need to understand how our faces changed over time. Because the story of the human chin actually begins long before humans even existed. Long before modern humans appeared, our ancestors looked very different. Millions of years ago, early human relatives had large faces, heavy jaws, and powerful chewing muscles. Their survival depended on eating tough roots, raw plants, nuts, and uncooked meat. Every meal required enormous bite force. The larger the jaw, the better the chances of survival. But evolution never stands still. Around 2.5 million years ago, something remarkable began to happen. Early humans started making stone tools. Sharp flakes of rock allowed them to cut meat into smaller pieces before eating. For the first time, their teeth didn't have to do all the work. Then came another revolutionary discovery: fire. Although scientists continue to study exactly when cooking became widespread, early humans eventually learned to cook food, making many foods softer and easier to chew. Cooked meat, soft vegetables, roasted roots, all required less force than raw food over thousands of generations. Natural selection favored smaller teeth, shorter faces, and lighter jaws. Slowly, the massive faces of our ancestors began shrinking as the face became smaller. Something unusual happened. The upper part of the face pulled backward faster than the lower jaw. Instead of disappearing at the same speed, different parts of the skull changed at different rates. This process is called evolutionary remodeling. Bone doesn't simply grow larger or smaller. It is constantly being broken down and rebuilt throughout life. Tiny changes repeated over millions of years gradually reshape the human face. Some researchers believe the chin may have appeared simply because the surrounding face became flatter. Others argue that evolution rarely creates completely new features by accident. If the chin remained for hundreds of thousands of years, perhaps it offered some hidden advantage, But what advantage could a small piece of bone possibly provide? Scientists have proposed several fascinating theories. Some believe it strengthens the jaw, others think it improves speech, and a few even argue it may have played a role in human attraction and mate selection. The mystery was only beginning. If scientists agree on one thing, it's that no single explanation has been proven. Instead, several competing theories try to answer the same mystery. Each has supporting evidence. Each also has unanswered questions. Let's explore the four leading ideas. One of the earliest ideas was simple. Perhaps the chin makes the jaw stronger. Think of the support beam beneath a bridge. Adding extra structure can sometimes help distribute force. Some researchers suggested that the chin helps reinforce the lower jaw against the stresses of chewing. At first, the idea seemed reasonable, but when scientists used computer models to simulate biting and chewing, the results were surprising. Human chins didn't appear to significantly reduce stress on the jawbone. That doesn't necessarily mean the theory is wrong, but the evidence has been weaker than many expected. Another fascinating possibility involves language. Humans are the only species capable of incredibly complex speech. Our mouths, tongues, lips, and vocal tract work together with extraordinary precision. Could the chin help stabilize muscles involved in speaking? Some scientists believe changes in the lower face may have supported the muscles controlling the lips and jaw during speech, but there's a problem. No study has conclusively shown that the chin itself is necessary for talking. People with different chin shapes speak equally well, so while speech may have influenced facial evolution, it probably isn't the complete answer. Perhaps the chin wasn't about survival at all. Perhaps it was about attraction. Throughout evolution, many animals developed traits that made them more appealing to potential mates. Peacocks evolved enormous, colorful tails. Deer grew impressive antlers. Birds developed bright feathers and elaborate dances. Humans may have followed a different path. Some researchers suggest that a well-defined chin became a signal of health, maturity, or strong development. Over thousands of generations, individuals with certain facial features may have been chosen more often as partners. If true, the chin may have spread through populations because people preferred it, not because it improved survival directly. It's an intriguing idea. But like the others, the evidence remains incomplete. Perhaps the most surprising theory is also the simplest. What if the chin wasn't selected for any special purpose? As our faces became smaller, our jaws changed shape. The lower portion of the jaw may have remained slightly forward while the upper face gradually moved backward. In other words, the chin could simply be the natural result of how the human skull evolved. Not an adaptation, but a side effect. Biologists call this an evolutionary byproduct. Nature is full of unexpected consequences. Sometimes, a feature appears not because it serves a unique purpose, but because it comes along with other changes. Today, many anthropologists consider this one of the strongest explanations. Yet none of these theories fully solves the mystery, which means one small question still remains. Why did only modern humans keep this unusual feature, while every other human species lost it? Around 300,000 years ago, a new human species appeared in Africa, Homo sapiens. At first, they shared the world with several other human relatives. Neanderthals lived across Europe and Western Asia. Denisovans occupied parts of Asia. Other ancient human groups survived in isolated regions. For thousands of years, multiple human species walked the earth at the same time, yet only one of them developed a true chin. Why? Scientists believe the answer may lie in the unique way our skull evolved. Compared with earlier humans, Homo sapiens developed a smaller, flatter face. Our foreheads became taller, our brows became less pronounced, our teeth gradually became smaller. The entire front of the face shifted backward. As these changes accumulated over many generations, the lower part of the jaw remained slightly more prominent, creating the chin we recognize today. When researchers compare fossil skulls, the difference becomes striking. A Neanderthal skull appears long and robust, with a projecting middle face and a heavy jaw. A modern human skull looks lighter, rounder, and more compact. The chin is one of the clearest features separating the two. But fossil discoveries reveal something even more fascinating. Early Homo sapiens didn't all have the same chin. Some had only a small projection, others had a much more noticeable one. This suggests the chin evolved gradually rather than appearing overnight. Each generation inherited tiny changes over tens of thousands of years. Those small differences became the distinctive human chin. Today, people around the world still have different chin shapes. Some chins are broad, others are narrow, some are pointed, others are rounded. Some people even have a cleft chin where a small groove appears in the center. Despite these differences, every healthy modern human shares the same basic feature, a forward-projecting chin that no other living animal possesses. That makes it one of the most reliable characteristics anthropologists use when identifying ancient human fossils. Yet after more than a century of research, the biggest question still has no definitive answer. Did evolution intentionally preserve the chin? Or is it simply a remarkable consequence of all the other changes that made us human? The mystery remains one of the most intriguing puzzles in evolutionary biology. The next time you look in a mirror, take a closer look at your chin. It may seem like one of the most ordinary parts of your face, but hidden within that small piece of bone is a story that stretches back hundreds of thousands of years. A story of changing diets, stone tools, fire, language, and the remarkable journey of human evolution. Scientists still debate exactly why the human chin exists. Some believe it is the result of our shrinking faces. Others think it may have helped stabilize the jaw. Some suggest it became more common through mate selection, and many researchers believe it is an evolutionary byproduct, a feature that emerged naturally as other parts of our skull changed. Perhaps the truth lies in a combination of these ideas. Evolution is rarely driven by a single cause. Instead, small changes accumulate over countless generations. Together, they shape the bodies we have today. The human chin reminds us that evolution doesn't always produce obvious solutions. Sometimes, it leaves behind mysteries, questions that survive long after the answers have been forgotten. Every fossil discovered, every ancient skull uncovered, and every new scientific study adds another piece to this incredible puzzle. Perhaps one day researchers will finally uncover the complete story. Until then, the human chin remains one of the most distinctive features of our species, a tiny detail that separates us from every other living animal and quietly reminds us of the extraordinary journey that transformed ancient ancestors into modern humans. If you enjoyed uncovering one of evolution's greatest mysteries, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more documentaries exploring human evolution, ancient civilizations, archaeology, and the hidden stories of our past. Every week we dive into fascinating questions that science is still trying to answer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next journey into human history.